What is going on, guys? Welcome on to 6K DFS Darlings. I'm Matt Gannon. If you don't know me from Twitter, you guys probably should. I'm very adamant with the 6K range. I'm just kidding. If you don't know me, I'm Matt Gannon. Thank you for letting me have this platform. We are doing a lot of fun things at SGPN this next few weeks. A lot of the golf written content is going over to short YouTube, short Twitter, short TikTok style clips, just quick hitters, instant action. It's going to be super fun. So I'm here to bring you some 6K stuff. If you know me from Twitter, you know how adamant I am about the 6K range, like I was just saying. But let's get into it. I write a 6K blog every week over at Jersey Betting, but I'm going to dive into a few guys who I think could have a good showing at the Players Championship this week. So what I'm big on this week is driving accuracy. I think you got to play out of the fairway at TPC Sawgrass. I mean, it's not a, unless you're Cam Smith and you're going to roll in a million putts, you're not going to have success if you're playing out of the rough and playing out of the pine straw and playing out of the trees over in Ponte Vedra. So you got to play out of the fairway. That's step one. Step two, I think you got to be good in 125 to 200. A lot of bucket shots are going to come from that range. And you can't live and die with the bucket ranges, but I think 125 to 200 is a fair 75-yard bucket where a good majority of the shots will come from. And then I'm not going to look too high into Bermuda putting because I think a tee to green game is more important than just rolling in putts, unless you're Cam Smith, but there's no Cam Smith in the 6K range. And then finally, I'm going to look into course history and recent form. Sometimes playing the guy who is in good form is a good thing to do in the 6K range. So, I mean, this is the 6K range. No one's going to check all the boxes, but we're going to do our best to find some guys who check a few of the boxes and I think can have some success this week at the Players. So let's jump right into it. $6,900, Brendan Todd. Driving accuracy, he's driving accurate. 10 to 10 driving accuracy. I think he is going to play out of majority of the fairways, could lead the field in fairways this week. In the bucket ranges, he's not the best iron player. He kind of makes his hay on the putting greens and with the driver. So I'm not too high on Brendan Todd's driving accuracy. I mean, iron play, but like I said, no one in this range is going to check every single box. Form, he's made 3 out of his last 6 cuts, and at the Players, he's made 1 out of 2 cuts. So we will move on to Kurt Kitayama, $6,900. Yeah, obviously, if this pricing came out normally, he would not be $6,900. Obviously, he just won the API last week. So kind of an anomaly because if you look at Kurt's numbers, he's not a very accurate driver of the golf ball. I'd rate him about a 4 out of 10 in driving accuracy. He kind of had a ceiling driving week last week, led him to victory at API. Where he does make his hay is the approach buckets. He's a very good iron player. He is very good 125 to 100. He may be a little chalky at that 6'9" price. 4 to 6 cuts made. He's never played here before. Take that for what it's worth. But I'm not too high on course history this week because TPC Sawgrass is a very volatile golf course, a golf course where you can do well in your first trip. You can do horrible after having great success. All the water. So I don't want to get too into that. This is more about who I think is going to perform well in the 6K range. All right, we'll move down to Emiliano Grillo. Absolute ball striker. Amazing tee to green. Amazing iron player. Will play out of most fairways. Won't make any putts, but I think that is a good recipe for TPC Sawgrass. And he's made the cut 3 out of 6 times he's played here. He's made 3 out of 6 last cuts. So at 6,800, I think he's a very 50-50 will make the cut, but will present upside because he is a great tee to green player. So we'll move down to Joel Damon. Driving accuracy, another guy who's going to play out of most fairways. He is one of the most accurate drivers on tour. A bit better than Brendan Todd with the irons. So I think he might be a little bit of an upgrade than Brendan Todd at $100 cheaper. The form isn't as good. 2 out of 4 cuts made. He's made 2 out of 3 cuts at TPC Sawgrass. So I'm more adamant on the form rather than the TPC Sawgrass history because, like I said, very volatile golf course. We will move down to David Lipsky. I think he's one of the best plays in the 6K range. An awesome driver of the golf ball, an awesome approach player. I don't think he's as accurate as Joel Damon and as Brendan Todd, but he will have a better iron week, or at least he should, than the other two. He's never played here. I'm not that concerned about that. He's made 3 of his last 6 cuts. All right, Justin Suh. Kind of sneaky not a great ball striker, but a decent driver. And I've been kind of riding that driver the last 4 weeks. Justin Suh has made 10 of his last 11 cuts, and one of his missed cuts was a withdrawal. So at 6,600, ride the hot hand. I think Justin Suh is a great play this week. We'll move down to Robbie Shelton. Sorry, Bob Shells, I call him. Vibey with the irons for sure. Definitely vibey with the irons. But besides that, he's sometimes pop with the driver. Wouldn't bank on the driver popping. The irons have been really good. He made 7 of the 8 cuts. I think he's a good play at 6,600. We'll move all the way down to 6,400. Ben Martin, a very average driver for the golf ball, but a good iron player. So I think he's a good play at 64. He's made 3 out of 5 cuts. He's made 2 out of 4 cuts at TPC Sawgrass with, I think, a second place finish in his past. All right, T Dunks. 10-10 driver of the golf ball, accurate driver of the golf ball, not total driver, very accurate driver of the golf ball, and pretty solid in the 125 to the 200 range, at least this season. He's made his last 2 cuts as well. So Tyler Duncan at 6,400 might be a solid play here this week. All right, David Lingmer, 6,200, came out super hot to this 2022-2023 season. And what does he do? He drives the ball in the fairway. Like I keep pounding that drum. It's going to be huge this week. Drive the ball in the fairway, and you will find success. He's made 3 out of his 3 last cuts, and he's made 2 out of his 5 cuts at TPC Sawgrass with I think he's got a really high finish here when he was a better golfer, 8 years ago? All right, do 2 more guys. Harrison Endicott, 6,100. Withdrew from Puerto Rico last week after I bet him at 50-1. No beef, a true no beef situation, but I like him. A better iron player than driver, but he has decent upside in both. We saw him pop early in the season. He's made 2 out of his 4 last cuts, never played here before. And then finally, Kramer Hickok at 6K flat. I don't think he is a 6K gem, but I think Kramer Hickok is a good play. He's got upside with the driving accuracy, definitely with the driving accuracy. He's kind of made his hay there in his whole career, just being a very accurate driver. The irons have been popping a little bit more than I think he's better than his ceiling with his irons at the moment. He has made 2 of his last 2 cuts after being a legit horrendous golfer for the first half of the season, but he's kind of found something, and he's made 2 of his only 2 cuts at TPC Sawgrass. So Kramer Hickok at 6K flat might be a decent play. That concludes it. A little 7-minute clip. This will get cut up into pieces, and I hope you find some success in the 6K range. You know where to find me. DM me with any questions. Peace out.